Have you ever stopped and asked yourself, why am I thinking this? Or, what makes me, me? That voice inside your head, the one that watches your thoughts, the one that feels emotions, makes decisions, and reflects on your actions, what is it? And why are we self-aware? Today, we're diving deep into one of the greatest mysteries of the universe. What makes us conscious and aware of our own existence? For centuries, philosophers, scientists, and even poets have wrestled with these questions. Is consciousness simply a byproduct of our brains, or is there something bigger at play? Let's start with the brain, your brain. It's the most complex structure in the known universe. Inside your skull, around 86 billion neurons are constantly firing electrical signals, forming intricate patterns. But here's the twist. These neurons alone can't explain why we feel conscious. So what sparks the realization of, I am? What creates that profound awareness that you are aware? It's not just one part of the brain that makes us conscious. It's a symphony of activity, different regions working together to create this magical thing we call awareness. The prefrontal cortex is the star of the show. This region is responsible for your decisions, your problem solving, and, perhaps most importantly, your sense of identity. Without it, would we even have a self to be aware of? It's like the director of your personal movie, helping you write your life's script. No prefrontal cortex, no sense of I. Then there's the thalamus. Imagine it as the brain's traffic cop, directing sensory information. Everything you see, touch, hear, taste, and smell to the right brain regions for interpretation. When you touch a hot stove, for example, the thalamus sends the pain signal straight to the sensory cortex. This constant flow of information is the bedrock of our moment-to-moment experience. Without it, we wouldn't even feel alive. But there's another key player here: memory. Imagine waking up tomorrow with no memory of who you are, what you've done, or where you've been. It would be like being a stranger in your own body. The hippocampus stores and retrieves memories, linking the past to the present. Without memory, we wouldn't just forget our experiences, we'd forget who we are. Memory is the thread that weaves the fabric of your identity. But here's where things get really mind-bending. We know how the brain processes information, but we still can't fully explain why we feel joy, sadness, love, or curiosity. Why do you have a rich, internal experience of life, while a computer simply processes data? Why does a dog seem to have an instinct, but no internal movie of its existence? This is the mystery. Even though we've decoded much of the brain's structure, we still don't understand why we experience the world the way we do. Your consciousness, your ability to reflect, dream, and explore your inner thoughts remains one of the greatest unsolved puzzles of science. Some philosophers have argued that consciousness isn't just brain activity, it's something else. Perhaps a non-material essence that interacts with the physical brain, like a soul or a spark of divine energy. This idea still fascinates many, but science isn't quite there yet. Instead, we have theories like integrated information theory, IIT, which suggests consciousness arises from how complex systems process and integrate information. The more interconnected the system, the more conscious it becomes. It's almost as if consciousness is born from the brain's ability to link sensory data together, creating the experience of being self-aware. But even then, we're only scratching the surface. Now, let's throw a wrench into the mix. Altered states of consciousness. Ever meditated deeply, taken a psychedelic trip, or been completely immersed in a dream? In these states, something strange happens. Your sense of self can shift or even dissolve completely. Time might lose meaning, your personal identity might fade, or you might feel connected to everything around you. In these moments, it's as if consciousness isn't just contained within you, it expands. It blurs the line between you and the world. Consciousness becomes a fluid, ever-evolving experience. And then there are those moments when you're so engrossed in something that time seems to stop. Maybe you're painting, running, or even playing a video game. In those flow states, you lose yourself. You become so absorbed in the activity that your sense of self fades. You don't think about yourself. You're simply part of the experience. It's a reminder that consciousness isn't fixed. It can stretch, bend, and even dissolve when you're deeply immersed in the present moment. So, what makes us aware? The answer is complex, and honestly, we might never fully know. Consciousness arises from a mix of biological processes, neurons firing, sensory data coming in, memories linking together, and your mind interpreting it all. But there's more, something mysterious, something subjective, something deeply personal, and it's that mix of biology and experience that creates the you that's asking these very questions right now. And maybe that's what makes consciousness so fascinating, the fact that we can ask the question in the first place. We might never fully unravel it, but that's what makes it so beautiful, the mystery itself. Consciousness is what makes us human, and yet, it remains a riddle that's still waiting to be solved. So what do you think? Is consciousness just a product of the brain, or is there something more to it? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your perspective. And if you're as curious about the mysteries of the mind as I am, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss another deep dive. Until next time, keep wondering, keep exploring, and keep discovering.